My pleasure to welcome in studio Aaron Frude with FCA and Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and they've got a multi-sport day camp for youth in the community coming up June 3rd through the 6th. If you want to mark this on your calendar, we're going to find out all the details here. We'll talk a little bit about FCA, but I welcome Aaron in studio. Good to have you here. How are you today?
Yeah, doing great, David. I appreciate you having me on. It's good to be here this morning.
Well, I thank you for the time. So this multi-day sport camp, so we're talking multiple days, multiple sports, rolling everything into one here for very minimal cost, it looks like. How are we pulling this off?
Well, yeah, so we're excited to be able to offer a camp here in this community for the kids for $5.
Wow.
And I think part of our heart for this camp is to be able to say, you know, being involved with sports and have my own kids and then also doing other camps. And, you know, it's just expensive to be able to keep your kids engaged in sports. And so we're able to say, you know what, we're going to do this for $5. We've got a ton of support coming from the community, even from local churches, helping provide our breakfast and lunch. We're going to throw it all at the kids, and we got a couple sponsors in Toyota, Laramie, and Premier Born & Join is helping support us too. So to be able to offer something like this, the kids be able to get some good coaching and a good experience as they kick off the summer.
Now, that is awesome to hear. So just $5, ladies and gentlemen, and there are some scholarships available, and I'll ask you about that in just a moment. So how did this idea come together, Aaron?
Well, I think just a couple things. There's people have been kind of thinking about this for several years now. With our involvement with FCA, we put on an annual sports camp for middle school and high school kids, and we've been doing that for getting close to 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
And so we've offered the camp experience for the older kids, and then so FCA, our organization, runs a program. It's called a Power Camp, and that's reaching into the younger kids. And so for our particular camp, we're shooting for third graders through sixth graders to be able to participate in this camp, and then to be able to, like we've been talking about, offer a sports camp experience for, you know, very affordable price, to be able to allow any kids that might say, you know what, I'd like to go to that camp, but that's several $100s, but like, man, $5, no problem. Let's do it.
All right, so let's find out a little bit more details. Number one, for folks that are not familiar, FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, you're heavily involved with that group. You have been for a long time, going back basically, I want to say, to your high school days at LHS and through college here at UW. Talk about your background with FCA and what you guys do here in the community.
Sure, yeah, I appreciate that. I know, yeah, so I was exposed even in middle school. I grew up primarily in Laramie, and so the FCA organization has groups in middle schools, high schools, and then at the college level, and had a chance to go, was a plainsman here in Laramie, got involved with the FCA group with Coach Paul Williams and Coach Paul Martin, and so was involved with that, and then got into at the University of Wyoming and had a chance to play football for the Cowboys, and had a teammate that was really involved with the FCA group. So I really got more involved in college and actually grew in my faith as well, but it was a great place to connect with other collegiate students and athletes, and trying to grow in your faith and experience all the different things within college. And so we do the same things. We're running the same plays, and now I'm just on the other side of it, organizing it, planning, training leaders, and helping the students get going with that.
Multi-sport day camp. Again, this is for students that will be entering grades 3 through 6 in the fall of this year. So let's find out details. You mentioned June 3rd through the 6th. That's a Monday through Thursday, right after the kids get out of school, because the last day of school is next Friday here in Albany County School District. And originally it was supposed to be the 30th, and then it snowed pretty big with blizzard conditions back in March, so they extended it. But June 3rd through the 6th, let's give us the details. Number one, the cost is $5, but where, what are the times, what's going on with these camps?
Okay, so what we're doing, so we're going to go 8 a.m. is when the kids would show up, or if they need to be dropped off a little bit earlier, that's fine too. So 8 a.m. to noon, so it's half-day camp, where they'll be able to take part in a couple different sports sessions. And the kids will select, so it'll be basketball for the boys and girls, soccer as well, boys and girls, and then football for boys. If they want to sign up for football, they can sign up for football, and then we'll offer volleyball for the girls as well. And so within that, we'll have some activities, some group stuff together, get them warmed up, and then they'll work on their drills and skills, and then we'll have a little guest speaker and encourage the kids along the way.
And also you guys are providing, as you mentioned, some meals for these kids.
That's right, David. I know there's a lot of kids too in the summer that participate in lunches out at Linford during the summer, but this particular week the lunches aren't going to be provided. So our committee is brainstorming that and saying, hey, let's rally some different churches and some groups in town to say, hey, would you be willing to help sponsor a lunch? And McAllister's going to help us out as well.
Nice.
And so we're going to offer a lunch every day as a part of the camp, and then also we're going to do breakfast too. So it's like if kids, we want to get them going, we want to make sure they get started in the camp, and so we want to make sure that their bodies are ready to go. So we'll give them some breakfast if they'd like, and then offer the lunch at the back end.
All of this for just $5, folks. So again, breakfast, there's a snack, a lunch, a t-shirt, more. There are scholarships available for folks that if you're on a low income situation or whatever. But again, basketball for boys and girls, soccer for boys and girls, football for boys, volleyball for girls. And this is going June 3rd through the 6th. We'll be out at Kiwanis Park and Linford Elementary. So you're staying on the west side of town, it looks like.
Correct. Yeah, we'll be over there, west side. So starting at Linford, the majority of our stuff will be right there at Linford, and then we kick over to the park just right across the street. And so the facilities, I think, will be great for our age group, and we'll get after with our coaches and college people helping us out.
All right. So the big question is if I'm interested as a parent, I've got a youngster who's going into grade 3, 4, 5, or 6 this fall. How do I register? Where do I go to register?
Okay, so we're channeling everybody to our website. So it's wyomingfca.com. You can go on there, and then you find a little camp link, and it's the Laramie Power Camp. So the wyomingfca.com is the main spot. I mean, kids could show up the day of, but we really want to have them register online and fill out a little paperwork, and make sure that everything's squared away, and we know of any medical issues, that type of stuff, and the parents sign off on that. So we'd like them to go to the website at the wyomingfca.com.
All right, so sign up ahead of time, wyomingfca.com. If I got any questions, are you the primary contact? Is there other people I should contact?
Sure. People can reach out to me, and you guys can get our information at the website there, or certainly could give me a call or an email, and we've got a couple other of our staff that help out with that. So anything that we can help out with, just reach out to us.
Now, what you can't see in the radio, but what might be on the video, and I'll show this on the video behind me here, are these little flyers. Are these going out have they gone out to schools already? Or are you guys trying to get them in here before this year's done?
We have sent it out, there's any parent of any kid in Laramie knows that there's a lot of different activities in the community that are going on. So we did get that flyer out to the schools, and they send that out. But we're trying to get the word out. We appreciate you having us on the radio and getting that out.
Absolutely, because it looks like you guys got a QR code for people to possibly help them register at the same time.
Sure. Yeah. So with our flyers, like you say, David, there's a QR code. You just scan that with your phone, and it pops you to the website. And there's a pretty quick link that you just plug onto, and then pick a sport for your child, and then get them registered. All
right, June 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Again, a Monday through Thursday, the week after school's done, out at Linford and a little bit over at Kiwanis, but just $5, breakfast, lunch, t-shirt, and more. And a good time for all, and again, just a $5 cost. You're right. You've got kids in sports. I've got kids in sports. It's not the cheapest thing to get them involved, whether it's clinics, camps, or just period being in the sport. It is an investment, to say the least. Let's just put it that way. It's not just an investment for the kid, because let's just frankly put it out there. I mean, the kids need to be invested too. If they want to do it, they've got to have that passion, that love to do it. But at the same time, maybe you've got a youngster that is young enough where they're not quite sure what they want to do, but they just want to go out, have some fun with some friends, with some other kids, learn a little bit more about basketball, football, soccer, volleyball, whatever it might be, whatever interests them. It's a multi-day Power Camp. So again, WyomingFCA.com. Look for the Laramie Power Camp. The flyers have been distributed, and again, very cheap cost. This sounds like hopefully you guys get a lot of interest in this.
Yeah, we'd love to have a number of kids coming out, and so we've got kids are signing up, and we'd love to add some more, maybe 100 kids or so.
That'd be cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it would be cool. And again, breakfast and lunch are provided each day of the camp. And again, this is right after school gets out, that Monday through Thursday, the week after school lets out. Well, anything else before I let you go?
I would say this too, just like the question might come up, it's like, well, how are you organizing this, your coaches? So we've got a variety of coaches, even from some of our local coaches, some of the Laramie Plainsman football staff. You got a guy like Chris Sherwood helping us out, and even with the basketball, a guy in our community. Great fit for this camp is Anthony Johnson. Everybody knows AJ, and we've got some collegiate athletes helping us out. From a local guy, Taylor Dawes, going to jump in, and he's got football workouts that he's got to work around, and Cooper Roth, Nick Spohr from the football team, and then Jackie McBride from the volleyball team, and so we're excited to have some of those college students helping us out, and even Amy Johnson, Jayla Wolf from the Plainsman side, Livy Berryhill, and so they're saying, hey, I'd like to help out too, help these youngsters out, so we're excited about that too.
That's good. As a kid, I can remember back when I was a youngster, I know it's been a long time ago, folks, but I remember looking up to high school, college student athletes in my own community, and I had my own little kind of heroes and people I wanted to meet and be around, and that's just an awesome opportunity, I think. And sometimes that gets overlooked. Just a simple thing like that gets overlooked.
Yeah. And so, I can totally relate looking up to those upperclassmen in college and other high school athletes. So, and these students that we got coming in, they're great. They have a heart to help out, and they get it as well. And so they'll be encouragers, and they'll help add some insight and inspiration along the way as well. So.
All right. With that, Aaron, I will let you go. Thanks so much for coming in and talking about again a multi-day power camp through FCA. It is the Laramie Power Camp, June 3rd through the 6th, 8 a.m. to noon each of those 4 days over at Linford Elementary School and a little bit at Kiwanis Park just across the street, and just a $5 cost. Thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks, David. Appreciate it.